bringing it to them all day. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Win or lose, we bringing it to you always. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Orange or black, we rebuild the pack. No matter where we at, you know we coming back. Section 336, we on this, so tune in. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Yeah, welcome to Birdland. You know what's up? Welcome to Birdland. Now, here come the boys from Section 336.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Baltimore sports fans of all ages, welcome to Section 336, Next Generation of Baltimore Sports Talk. I am your endearingly stirring host, Matt Soroka. As always, I'm joined by a guy who wished he could catch a foul ball with the soda in his hand and a cell phone, the button lever Josh Soroka.
Oh, to be treated like royalty by the Orioles? Sure, I'll take that.
Josh, but in that same situation, if you had a soda in your hand and a cell phone, do you think you could catch the ball?
I could catch the ball, yes.
Okay.
Because you still have a free hand. I think the difference would be the way I would react after catching the ball.
Okay. I've seen some...
Do you not think you could catch that ball?
Yeah, I think it would have been more impressive, and I've seen this before, if you were holding a baby while catching. Yes. That's another live human while catching a baseball. Yep. I'm not here to disparage whoever this gentleman is who caught to the ball
right.
with a cell
Good
phone.
job, Tim.
Yeah.
Pastor Tim, as the Jumbotron said.
Yeah. No, it's cool, and we know Pastor Tim fairly well. Family, right?
Yeah. Our cousin's husband.
Yeah,
is the relationship. Husband. I guess that's a cousin-in-law, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know the terminology, but we know Tim well, and so it's been cocool.
And we've. Do you think he's made any catches like that against you in softball?
Listen, I mean, we're going back a couple of decades here.
Yes, that's a long time.
But Faith Baptist used to kick our butt in softball twice a year, every year.
Yes, which is what he played on.
Style. So, and he played on Faith Baptist.
And what he's the pastor of now.
Yeah, and we hated Faith Baptist. Let's be honest. As Christian
brothers. As a softball team, not as a people. Team,
I'll just say this, Josh. When we played them, I would slide into second, cleats up. And that was the only team I would do that for, cleats up. Okay, I wanted to hurt somebody. Particularly, I didn't like the shortstop.
Our softball team back then, we did not play on a good softball team. But and back then that was a very competitive church softball league.
Yes.
And that was the game that got really intense. Whether we were good, bad, whatever, it didn't matter. Everyone got fired up for that game and everyone got irritated at that team.
Yeah, maybe. I think everyone gets fired up, Josh. I think we had three people who were passionately caring about that team in that game.
All right.
Me, you, and Dad. And so I think there was three people who were passionate, and other people who just showed up for fellowship or something.
I believe that is also the team where I told Peter that he can trick the catcher if he needs to, and he did. He did when he did not need to.
Okay.
He just ran into the catcher full speed when the catcher was not in the baseline and the ball was not coming in to play.
Yeah, well,
so he got kicked out of the game.
Softball players on that team, yeah.
No,
but isn't there an argument, Josh, to be made that this is kind of a way that the Orioles under new ownership are embracing fans, and this is
that's an interesting idea.
Like, would the same thing happen a year ago? Yeah. I don't know if they would have.
I don't think it's tough to say because it was interesting. He caught that ball, and I don't want to take anything away from the catch. But the fact that he was,
go ahead.
No. The fact that he was out in that section all by himself helped with the camera angles to get a nice clear picture of him. It was the ESPN top play of the day that day.
Was it?
So it was. SportsCenter ran it as the top catch of the day.
It was a perfect storm with him standing alone and the ball hit to the perfect spot. It was a perfect storm.
Right.
So
it's certainly not. Yeah. So I think the Orioles may have done something in previous years because it got on the SportsCenter.
Yeah.
But they would not have given him the owner's seat, the owner's box, and this type of treatment. You think we would have called Tim and tried to find out like some actual facts, but
oh no, I was thinking about this and I was talking to Dad.
Wait.
Okay, pre-show about getting Tim on,
okay.
and I'm concerned the interview wouldn't go well.
Well, why do you think it wouldn't go well?
I think because of you mostly, but I don't know. I don't know because I think already we're kind of knocking it a little bit, and we knocked a little bit.
It's
And
hard
we were
not to.
a
Yes.
little bit too close to it, and I think would make fun of it a little bit too much. To
All
be
right.
honest,
All right.
I think most
like,
of you would, but
I like Tim. I like Tim.
I like Tim,
but
too. We're pro Tim.
I found
Pastor
the
Tim, you-
I found the celebration a bit much, and the bowing down for catching it a bit much, and then I could not help.
This is what I didn't want to get him on for. Okay,
Exactly.
thank you.
Well, no, I'm only going here because Tim's not here.
Yeah, I know.
I could not help but laugh.
I think you would have gone if he was on because you just
I
can't
could
help
not.
yourself.
I
Okay,
could
go
not
ahead.
help but laugh at the picture of him, of the video of him throwing out the first pitch, and he's trying to hype up the crowd
He hands it up.
while on the jumbotron it says Pastor Tim Byer. So
Ah.
a pastor acting like that just made me laugh.
Yeah, it made me laugh too because the Tim I know is, and I don't know Tim. I mean, it's not like we're best friends, but very reserved. So
Yes.
this is good to see a little bit of a different
Right.
side of.
Right, like he was a little excited.
Yeah, and I listen. I watched him on TikTok and X. He's kind of I can't avoid him. He's everywhere, and the response. I'm just curious to see what the response was. Very supportive. So it's very cool to see Birdland like all about him. So that was very cool.
That's good. That's good.
I saw I'm serious. X is like a cesspool of ugliness, and I didn't see when he threw out the first pitch. I didn't see
And
one
Facebook's worse.
negative. I see, I didn't check on Facebook, but on X, not one negative comment. All of them were like, "This is awesome. This fan is living on his dream." And was I envious? And did I hate Tim a little bit because I want to be Tim? Sure.
Sure.
And I think every Oriole
There's
fan
definitely some of
was
that.
like loving Tim, and also, man, I wish I was Tim right now. So good for him.
Hey,
It's cool.
oh, and someone's headed up Tim because Tim has joined us on Facebook. Now, see, a
Hi,
little
Tim.
heads up would have helped out because I don't have Tim's number. Do you have Tim's number? I don't have it.
No. I mean, but there's a million ways to get at Tim on. I mean, I tagged him on Twitter when I saw that.
Tim,
catch.
if you want to hop on here for a little bit, now that we've laughed at it and said we're jealous and joked about it, I will send you a link.
Yeah.
Since Matt said it would not go well.
Yeah. But no, it's. I mean, we don't need to talk about it more. It's been everywhere. I'm a little bit sick of it, to be honest, at this point.
It has been everywhere to the point
That's cool.
So I do the other podcast.
Josh, were you watching it when it happened? Where were you when Tim Byer made this catch? Pastor Tim.
Was I watching it? I don't believe I was.
Okay, I was watching it live, and to be honest, I had no idea at the time it was Tim. And then it wasn't until moments later when I guess
watched it also.
yeah, Silas was there.
Did Silas recognize?
Yeah.
So now,
no, but
after I called him out for being a pastor and hyping up the crowd, you're trying to say you didn't recognize him with all the gray hair. Is that what you're trying to say?
I didn't mention nothing about the hair color. You don't expect to see someone you know make an incredible catch. And then Dad got a text about it, I guess from NKL, I don't know, about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's Tim. I know that guy. And then he was everywhere. So that's kind of cool. All right. And Silas just hopped in there real quick. I'm joined in the studio. For those, are we streaming? Yeah, I mean, we must.
Yeah,
be.
that's how Tim just caught us out.
Yeah, I don't even know when we're streaming, but I got my son Silas with me here for the podcast.
I see that. It's about time we became a 3-man show again.
Yeah, and by the way, it's 8:05.
Could you have made that catch?
15 minutes. Silas, could you have made that catch?
Maybe.
Oh.
I'm not
Could you have
really
made it?
good at catching. I'm better catching with a glove than bare hand.
Okay. That would yes. And that was probably the impressive part is that he did not have a glove. So it was barehanded. And I couldn't tell from the video how much he had to lean over the railing, but why don't we just ask him ourselves?
Oh,
fellas.
Tim, hey.
Tim, how great was your weekend?
Yeah, Tim, what an insane experience, dude.
Yeah. Sorry, I had you on delay from the other screen.
All right.
It was a whole week, man. It was crazy. It was just every 8-year-old boy's dream, man. It just all I did was see a ball, catch a ball, and everything just kept unfolding. So
Yeah. I produced the Mike O'Mara show, and I had so many people sending me this clip, as in, check out this Orioles fan.
yeah.
And then sharing that we know you. Back
Tim,
to the catch. How hard was the catch?
Yeah,
Was it
did you know
difficult?
at the time how insane this was going to be and how insane of a catch? I mean, certainly you didn't know how this would blow up, but did you think at the time, man, that was
'Cause
just an incredible
We're
catch?
joking about it, but the camera's too far away to tell how hard it really is.
Yeah, I mean, really, it was just reaction. I was on my phone. I looked up, and I mean, we were so far away. We've sat up there before. There was no way a ball was coming up to us, and so I saw it, and I just kind of like a half second, your brain goes, "Oh, that's actually coming up towards the section." Put your hand out, and there's the ball. And so, I mean, I really can't say it was difficult, but that's not toot my own horn. I literally just react, and you put your hand out, and you get lucky. I honestly give credit to Kevin Brown. He made it so much more dramatic than what it really was.
They did enjoy talking about you.
Well, and even in the
During the
moment,
game.
like the moment it happened, like Kevin Brown called it out. Oh, this is going to be a Sports Center top catch moment.
It was I think it was a bunch of different, like Kevin Brown made it great. B, the cameraman stayed on me. C, I think the warehouse, just the brick in the background made it a cool shot.
Yeah.
And the angle of the shot made it look like it was more difficult than what it was. Like I was hanging over the rail
Right,
or
and
something.
you were all by yourself, so it's a nice.
You had
I
the
was
score
by
and the
myself.
camera on one hand. Yeah.
Yeah, I was by myself and I played to the moment. And so I had no idea the camera was on me. I was just like, yeah, I caught the ball, like my first ball ever. Yeah, I'm going to play to the crowd because sure, they're applauding. But yeah, then my phone just started blowing up, and then then it was ridiculous. And then Rob Long the guy from Baltimore Banner shows up, then Rob Long shows up, and then one of the EVPs from the club shows up and says, "Hey, we want to have you out for a first pitch." It was crazy.
Right.
So.
You made it easy for them to find you out there all by yourself.
What did they approach the
correct.
first pitch on that same night?
Same night, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So they didn't even
Yeah.
wait for Sports Center to pick it up or anything. They knew right away. So that
No,
goes
I
to
think
what Matt
after
was
the-
saying about the fan base and how they're treating fans this year.
Well, it had already gone. Yeah, no, it had already gone viral.
Okay.
At that point in time, like after Rob Long came and interviewed me, it was already on like MLB Twitter and firing away. But yeah, I told the EVP and Rob Long, I was like, bro, I wouldn't let people speak from the pulpit at my little church as quick as you put me on live TV. Like that was
Right.
a lot of trust to just put a microphone in somebody with live TV. You have no idea who they are. It was kind of a crazy decision, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm curious about something like that. Was there like no prep? It was just like we're live.
Nothing.
Here.
No, I mean, Rob came up and said, "Hey, would you mind us interviewing you?" And I said, "Yeah, that's fine." And then he literally stood there for another inning because they just kept like delaying it, and then it ended up being top of the seventh. I think we were just like standing there, like, "Yeah, here's the glamour of TV. Just hurry up and wait." And yeah, it was fun though, for sure.
That's so wild. It seems
So-
like they treated you right, and also like they invited your whole family out, right? Like that was.
Yeah. So
And that was the City Connect game, right? The Hawaiian shirt. So you had a big crowd.
Saturday
as
was
well, right?
packed.
Oh,
Yeah.
it was
Yeah.
a sellout.
So yeah, and I mean, I woke up to Sports Center number one. Like that's for me. That's it, right? So Sports Center number one.
I
Was cool.
can't even wrap my head around it, Tim. That's so
Yeah.
insane.
Well, I'm sure you gave up on that dream a long time ago.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, they reached out to me the next morning and said, "Hey, we've got a couple days." I mean, they wanted to. There's no way they wanted to wait a long time because people will forget. I mean, people have already forgotten about it, right? So it was like capitalize on the moment. And so they said, "Would you want to come out tomorrow?" Which would have been Wednesday. And I said, "Yeah, that's too quick of a turnaround." And they said, "Well, how about Saturday or Sunday?" And I said no to Sunday because I assumed it was a 1:00 game. I wouldn't be able to get there in time from church, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, "Yeah, how about Saturday?" But the problem is, I know it's already sold out, and my family's going to want to come. And so the response was, "Yeah, okay, let's see if we can't figure that out." And then another day, I think it was Wednesday, Thursday, maybe, I got this email that said, "Hey, you're right. We can't find any seats because it's sold out. Would you like to come to Mr. Rubenstein's suite?" And I said,
Oh my god.
"Yes, yes, I would
Who
like
says
to
no
do
to that?
Correct. And here's the deal, guys. We hung out with him. Like we were up there for a couple innings, beginning and end. But then he invited us down to like his down front, and we were sitting there with him for like 5 innings.
Oh, wow.
And as an Oriole fan, and obviously you guys are monster Oriole fans, I'm telling you that dude watched the game. I sat right behind him for 5 innings for the Kerstad Grand Slam and all that. The guy sits in, he is in every single pitch and like oohing and ahhing with like a, every single strike call or kind of grumbling with a, a ball, a call with the umpire. He watches the hot dog race. I was so impressed. He's like, I feel like he's the guy who's a massive fan of the team and just so happened to have enough money to buy it, right? And just bought it. Yeah.
I shared last week. I was impressed because he sat through a 90-minute rain delay. And he was still there afterwards. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's very much. I mean, we're talking about
hats
Tim
out with him.
Yeah, we're talking about Tim living out his dream. It very much feels like Rubenstein is living out his dream as well.
And
owner/fan.
Right, and so Friday is when that SI piece came out that said, Rubenstein, it's beneath him, dancing in the dugout, and all that kind of stuff. So Saturday, I see him, and I get the chance to meet him up there in the suite, and I'm like, I don't know what to say to this guy, right? I'm just thank you for all of this.
Yeah.
And B, I just said on behalf, as a fan, on behalf of the fans, thank you, keep doing what you're doing. And honestly, I just said, keep dancing, please keep dancing. And he, without missing a beat, says, "You want to dance with me?" And I went, "Yes, I do want to. Yes, absolutely." And so it was just one thing after another, man. It was a great experience. Every single person I met with the Orioles are just over the moon, just awesome. And I agree. I think sorry, your cousin wants to take a look. Hello. Yeah. So Jill's trying to figure out who I'm talking to. And yeah, I agree. I think it's changed. The whole atmosphere has changed, certainly, from the admin and from the staff and all that kind of stuff. So
have you convinced them to extend Gunner and take care of it now?
I was tempted to have a conversation about that, but no, I didn't breach it for sure.
I think he's well aware of his responsibilities.
Yeah.
I think he's well aware.
Absolutely.
I keep going back to how I was on a commercial for Mass and just the quick 2-second, and Josh was waving.
Oh, I got a nice wave in Toronto.
And how pumped I was when Sass and I were in Tampa, and we just were in the 2-second before you go to commercial on Mass. And I wasn't on Sports Center though. You're at a whole nother level, Tim. It's just amazing, man.
Well, I was like that night, I get friends who are like, "Oh yeah, you're going to be on, Sports Center top." I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And then I get home and I'm like SVP. The Panthers have just won the NHL Cup. Tennessee just won the College Baseball World Series. And SVP goes, "You want to see the best thing I've seen all day? Here's Tim Meyer catching it." I'm like, "Are you kidding me? That's unbelievable."
Oh wow!
Now, how'd you fit your highlight into your sermon on Sunday?
My music pastor, I wanted to just let's just get on with the sermon, right? But he played the TikTok video apparently that the Orioles put out with me dancing. So we had the sermon bumper, and then he just threw the TikTok. So I had to stand there and just take it. And so
I hope you went up and tried to pump up the crowd in the church as well.
Play hype man for sure. Yeah.
Right.
Honestly, man, it's just we're all about the same age, so but no matter how old a guy gets, you still have that 8-year-old in the back of your brain, and that 8-year-old has just been doing flips all week long. It's just crazy. And I've had so many guys, I kind of heard you guys at the beginning say so many people said we're living vicariously through you, and I'm like, yeah, that's great, please enjoy it. I'd be doing the same thing if it was somebody else. I would be a little jealous as well, for sure. So.
Yeah, and I am jealous. I don't hide it.
We would love to,
but you're right. There's something about sports, right? I mean, it's a silly game that we play from the time we can walk, and to have that moment where it's the closest we're going to get to actually being involved in the game is having that moment, and it's so cool. So I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I'm glad the Orioles treated you well. It's great.
Unbelievably well. Yeah, they've been great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for hopping on here and sharing with us.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Enjoy your day. Go O's.
See you, Tim.
All right,
Go O's.
See you.
All right, that's fun.
Is that what you were trying to avoid?
Yeah, no, it was, but unexpectedly. That was cool. That was fun.
Yeah.
I'm glad that interview happened.
Yeah,
That's
we got
cool.
we got the jealousy out before getting Tim on.
And we got a Tim Byer exclusive interview. I don't know how many. I bet Bird's Eye View hasn't talked to Tim Byer. I bet that hasn't happened. And by the way, Tim, don't talk to Bird's Eye View.
Right.
Let's
That's
keep that
an exclusive.
Exclusive.
Right. Paperwork's on its way.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. All right.
All right. Well, that covers that. What else did we want to talk about?
I just meant that as a funny opening that now it's turned into the first 20 minutes of our podcast. But
that's cool. I'm glad we were able to talk directly to Tim. Because yes, I think just like you, we focus on a little jealousy instead of just sending a text message saying, "Hey Tim, you want to hop on?"
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. And if we ever call out any other people who listen to this podcast and they want to hop on, talking to you, Austin Hayes.
Buster Olney? Who are you trying to call out?
I don't know. I think other people we have kind of talked directly towards in the past. Yeah. But as I mentioned before, I got Silas who's joining me for the podcast. Silas, we've watched some Oriole games together here in the Outer Banks with Pop. How you feeling about this Orioles team right now, Silas?
Well, I didn't like the 5-game losing streak.
Yeah, that was rough.
Yeah, and then we get back to a 3-game winning streak.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a 4-game winning streak.
That was 4 games.
4-game winning streak.
Yeah. And so so on this podcast, sometimes this happens, and I feel like this is not as bad as football, but it happens with baseball too, where week to week, it's almost like we're doing different podcasts.
Well,
how the Orioles are playing that week, right? Because it's a long season, and you're gonna have games.
Right.
And we've been amazingly fortunate that whole not lose a series thing, which meant we hadn't lost 4 in a row or 5 in a row. And we've been amazingly fortunate at that. But this happens to all teams, right? And we weathered that storm, and we come out the other side.
Yeah, we talked forever. We're out of June. We've talked since February about how June was a scary month.
Yeah.
And we're out.
And what was our final, Judge? I don't have it in front of me. And you don't either. So let me talk while you scramble to look it up. Our record in June.
Our June record?
Yeah, because we got off to a really good start against the Braves and the Phillies and the Yankees. Better than anyone would have thought. And then we had an unanticipated struggle against, actually, I think the team with the worst record in that whole run-up, the Astros, by the way, the Astros got super hot while they're playing us. So it wasn't just that they beat us. Like, they had won, I don't know, what was it, 8 in a row or something. And then we ended June by taking 3 out of 4 from Texas. So
if I told you back in February that for June we would go 17-12,
I'd take it.
How would you? That'd be a huge win. Way up.
I'd take it.
5 games over 500 or whatever. That's great. And in first place, right?
I think
we didn't lose
tied
first
now.
place yesterday, did we?
We're
tied for first place. I'll take it. I came out of June. I went into June thinking if we could hit 500 ball, I'd be really happy. And here we are, and we played much better than that. So I am happy. It's been a great 4-game winning streak. It sucks that it was capped off last night as our most recent game to talk about with an 11-2 loss on ESPN. That sucks. But no, it's been a great week of Orioles baseball with that 4-game winning streak.
Yeah. That game did suck, but something that came out of that game, Josh. I don't know how you feel about the whole miking up players. I feel like this is just a disaster, but I hate it.
It rarely works well when they're on the field. I hate it because I'm always nervous that my guy is going to mess up a play. Yeah, because he's going to be talking.
An outfielder makes more sense. A shortstop is like involved in every play.
I like the dugout mic. That's the one I like.
Yeah.
And I don't mind like miking up a player, like mic up Gunner, but don't live interview him. No, and then you play clips throughout the game of him. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
The mic up without the interview.
Interviewing him on the field.
Yeah.
While he's playing.
Yeah, that makes me nervous.
Makes me nervous too. But Gunner handled it well.
Yep.
Yeah.
He also made a big announcement during the interview.
Yeah, so Gunner is going to be in the home run derby, which is kind of obvious when you look at the how he's been right behind Judge with home runs this year. Yeah. But it's exciting that we're going to see him in this and that it's official, and exciting that he is the first official entry to the home run derby.
Yep. And self-announced, which I always like and appreciate.
Yes.
And so last year we had Adley, who performed really well.
Yeah.
And this year we have Gunnar. So that should be fun to watch.
I didn't see him announce it live.
I did.
Was the ESPN crew given a heads up?
No, because even when he said it, they like, wait, Gunnar, can you repeat yourself? Did you just announce you're going to be in the home run derby?
The Orioles the Orioles announced it on the Jumbotron after that.
Yeah, like my first thought was, did Gunnar have permission to say that? I
don't know how that works, but I think that no one officially knew until Gunnar said that on ESPN.
I think that's true, and it's accurate.
Which I love, which makes me love Gunnar even more.
Yeah. I watched Gunnar hit, Josh, and I do that with pitchers too. I don't really understand how physics and sports work. Like, what makes someone to be able to do the same arm length, the same
nice
movement,
smooth swing,
and someone throws 70 miles per hour and the other person can throw 102. I don't understand that. I don't understand why Gunnar. They interviewed Gunnar pregame and gave him some nice sneakers, cleats, and maybe that's why he then took off
halfway through.
Yeah, and maybe that's why he struggled so much. But they interviewed him, and I'm just watching him, thinking, like, compared to a Judge, he's just like he looks like a normal guy. Like, he's not huge, he's pretty slender, and yet he can hit so many home runs.
Yeah.
Like, why can't I do that, Josh?
Yeah.
It's
what, like, in the fitness part
point
of it. Yeah. It's just amazing that he's able to do what he can do.
Right. You saw the pregame with him and Adley's arms are twice the size of Gunnar's.
Yeah. I saw a stat today that in terms of the last 5 years of draft picks and WAR, like, no one's even come close to what Gunnar and Adley have done in terms of WAR the last 5 years compared to any other draft picks. So that's clearly they're both studs.
Incredible.
Yeah, they're both incredible. And Gunnar, he just turned 23.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bonkers, and he's having one of the greatest years of any shortstop ever at 23.
Right,
is incredible.
Now, I was looking. The home run derby is 8 slots, so you would think that's 4 American League, 4 National League.
Sure.
I believe Judge said he's not going to do it.
Okay.
Which is silly, but whatever.
Judge isn't doing the home run derby.
Yeah. I know the home run leader should be there, right?
Yeah,
he's the home run leader
should definitely be there.
Number 2 is Gunnar Henderson at 26 home runs. Tied with him is Ohtani at 26.
Yeah.
So you would think Ohtani would be in it also.
Yeah. Ohtani did it a few years ago and did not do well, as I recall.
So you think he'd want to come back and do it. So then that gives you 1 American, 1 National. Number 4 in the home run leader is Ramirez for the Guardians. Would you invite him? Do you think you automatically invite like the top 5-6 people, or do you invite classic people? Like, does Adley get another invite because that left-right switch was so fun to watch last year?
Yeah, I think there's other factors at play here. Like, Adley was not in the top 10 for home runs last year.
No, he wasn't.
But he was kind of the young star.
Right.
I think what Gunnar has going for him is he hits home runs, but also he's like an MVP candidate. He's like a young star.
Yes.
I would like to see more than Ramirez. I'm fine with him, but I would like to see like O'Neal Cruz, who hits bombs. I'm trying to think of, like, I would like to see Bobby Witt Jr. Are you out, Silas?
Right. And these are guys that are not high on the home run list. In fact, number 5, the next guy on the list that I didn't list is Anthony Santander.
Yeah.
He's number 5. Yeah. But I don't think he'd get invited.
He's not getting people excited. Yeah, he's not getting people excited.
No. So the question is, who else would get people excited to then join these two? And I think,
like, I would like to see Juan Soto. I know that would never happen, but I like Juan Soto. I think he's cool. I like to see Bryce Harper. I want to see stars, young stars, older stars. I want to see stars. Like, that's where I'm at. I want to see Pete Alonso because he's a home run derby star.
Right. I feel like the home run derby, I don't know how they pick it. I know they used to do, like, let the players pick it and stuff. I would like to see some fan voting on who participates, but I guess even that is tough to do because you don't want, like, the Royal fans to fill up all the slots.
I just need to look on there. I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah. No, yeah. I don't know. And I also think like a lot of players don't want to do it too. So
Right. Yeah. There's a lot of talk about, oh, it's going to mess up your swing or whatever. Guerrero Jr. won it last year. So does he get an auto invite this year?
I think he should.
I think you do. I think if you win it, you get automatically, if you want to do it, you're back the next year.
Yeah.
And then, all right, so other past champions that could get invited again are Alonso, Harper, Judge, and Soto.
Yeah. And
So you could have any of those guys.
Yeah. I want all
It is in Texas. So that opens up the door to, well, I was going to say Corey Seager, but he's now hurt.
Thanks to the dirty Orioles and their throwing.
Yeah, the dirty Orioles that it just hit everyone.
Yeah. But Dallas Garcia, I think
Garcia could be in there.
Yeah, their best power.
Yeah.
No. Julio Rodriguez was great last year. I'd imagine he would get the invite back if he wants it. I don't know.
Yeah. Kyle Schwarber a couple years ago was really good too, so I'd include him in there.
Yeah. Yeah. What about Josh Heston Kjerstad? Should he be invited?
Definitely.
I think it might be a little bit early for that move, Silas.
He should.
Yeah, he's only had a few games. Yeah, I think that's. Well, he had the Grand Slam. All right.
Yeah, but that still counts as one.
Yeah. Josh, if we could shift gears a little bit, when we talk about home run derby all day, Heston Kjerstad had the Grand Slam. I think Mike Elias has a little bit of a problem here. It seems to me, and let me know if you think I'm wrong.
Kjerstad is number 314 in the home run leaderboard.
Okay, 314.
314.
Okay. It seems to me, and even on his own team, he's like, what, 15th?
Way down there.
It seems to me
Then you call up Stowers.
that the Orioles have a little bit of problem, and Manager Hyde has a little bit of problem in that Stowers and Kjerstad seem to be similar players.
Yes.
I know. Cowser's a little bit faster, can play center field. Kjerstad's a little bit slower, has a little more power, but they're both left-handed hitting corner outfielders primarily.
Yeah.
And it's so far Kjerstad's been getting a good amount of playing time since he was caught up, but it seems tricky to play Mullins, Santander, Kjerstad, and Cowser all on a consistent basis.
Yeah.
This is going to be Hyde's problem, right?
Yeah, and you're leaving out Hayes.
Oh, yeah. Not to mention Hayes.
As well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have a problem.
You need to get them, take turns.
Yeah. They have to take turns.
Yeah.
Every other inning, like Little League. Back and forth. No, and this is the problem we've been talking about, I think, leading up to this, is we know going into the trade deadline, the Orioles have pieces to trade. And the problem is that for years we've been watching these kids grow up and we've been watching these kids make it to the big league, which means us diehard Oriole fans and probably even more of the casual Oriole fans who have heard these names over the years and seen mass and updates of the Tide and the Bay Sox with these guys' names in it, means that no matter who Elias trades, because he's got lots of options to trade, but you're going to have people upset.
Josh, if you were in control and you had
this is why it's so hard to be that's why it's so hard to be Mike Elias. You have a good team, you have a good minor league system. It's just hard to make decisions.
Yeah, it is. It's a hard job. And Josh, if you were Mike Elias and you had a chance to get, let's say, a pitcher, let's not be specific here, but just a pitcher, a bullpen or a starter, and they wanted one or two guys. They said, we'll take either of them. We'll take Cowser or we'll take Kjerstad. Who would you part with first, Cowser or Kjerstad?
You're making Cowser or Stowers?
Cowser or Stowers?
Yeah. Did you say Cowser or Stowers?
I said Cowser. I said Cowser or Kjerstad.
All right. No. I thought you said, I wasn't sure. I thought you said Stowers or Kjerstad. And that was going to be an easy one for me.
That's a Kjerstad, right?
No, that's Stowers.
You would rather keep?
No, I'd rather keep Kjerstad. I would part with. No, if you're telling me right now, we want Cows, you have to give up Cowser or Stowers, and we're going to get that pitcher that we need. Oh, that's so tough.
Cowser,
and I think
Kirsten.
yeah. And right now, I would say I would keep Cowser because only because I've
only
seen
because
more
of
from him.
all the cow gear, and you don't want them to have to return all that cow gear. It's a lot of money.
No, and speaking of cow gear, is coming to Birdland Sports this week.
About time.
Yeah, I know. I'm way late on it. I've had so many other things to do. I've got them all partially done. No, I would go with Cows. I would keep Cowser. I would trade Kerstead at this moment because I prefer Cowser's defense. I think Cowser has a better defense speed and
he can back up center field.
Kerstead.
Unlike
Yes.
Kerstead,
The only thing that concerns me about Cowser defensively is his arm. We've seen a lot of off-target throws.
Yeah, and not even the strength, the accuracy. Yeah.
It's the accuracy. Yeah, it's the accuracy. He's got the power. It's just the accuracy. Kerstead, I don't trust in center field. I know they've put him in left field a little. I don't really trust him in left field in Camden. I am fine with him in right field, but I like him. So I would keep Cowser at this point.
Can I make an argument for keeping Kerstead?
Of course.
Because I would. And here's my argument.
More of an upside.
More of an upside. Like, you cannot find power like Kerstead anywhere, right? Like, Cowser, what he does, his speed, his defense, it's good, and I appreciate it. There's other people who can do that. I'm not sure how many other people can do what Kerstead potentially can do in terms of power. And I'm blown away. By the way, what was it, 60 home runs in June? The Padres were in second with 42.
Yeah. Yes.
And this is, I want to hear, I haven't heard anyone say recently about, the wall is not fair that the wall's so deep. How can we let all the baseball home runs with the deep wall?
ESPN brought it up a couple times yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been a home run in 28 other parks.
Yeah. And even with that, we still lead all the baseball home runs. We still had 60 home runs in June.
Yeah.
18 more than the next person. So forget the wall. We have insane power with or without the big wall. And what Kerstead can do, I think, is elite power. And just, I think that skill is rare at the level that he's at, and his potential is so high. And maybe it's because I've seen Cowser, and it's the unknown, and you're always intrigued by kind of the what ifs.
Right. I understand that. I guess my thought would be, again, it's which one can I fit into this lineup easier every day? And when I don't have great faith in Hayes at the moment, it makes it a little easier to get Cowser in that lineup.
Yeah, and he's
when
playing
Mullins
center
has
field.
Been struggling, it was easier to get Cowser in the lineup. Where Kerstead, I'm looking at, all right, he can play right field and he can DH.
Okay.
So, and that's the same thing Anthony Santander can do. So, okay, I can let them platoon in right field. I'm limited with Kerstead.
All right, but Josh, if I can continue to make my case, I agree maybe with you if we're talking about 162 games.
Right.
We really don't have the backup for Mullins.
I know where you're going.
I don't care about the regular season. We're going to make the playoffs.
True.
I would love to win the division, and we're going to fight for the division now. But aside of that, I feel confident that we're going to make the playoffs. And so I'm thinking about my playoff roster.
All right.
And if I'm rolling out, let's say Hayes, Mullins, Santander.
Well, remember, they pull Kerstead on their playoff roster last year after like 2 games in the regular season?
Yeah. Well, he wasn't on the playoff roster, I don't think.
All right. I thought he did.
He came in September. I don't think he made the playoff roster. I could be wrong. I don't really recall, to be honest. So look that up for me. But in terms of playoffs, like, I would love to have the power bat of Kerstead.
He was on the ALDS roster last year.
He was on the roster. Okay.
Which adds to your argument of when you go into playoffs, you want that bat.
You want that bat off the bench. If he's not starting, you want to know that if they do some matchup nonsense and they put a tough righty against Austin Hayes, I have a guy who can hit any ball out of the stadium. And so you want to be able to bring in Kerstead there. And Cowser can be a pinch hitter, but he doesn't pose, I think, the same threat offensively that Kerstead does as a late in and pinch hitter.
Yeah. We had 5 outfielders on the ALDS roster last year. Austin Hayes, Cedric Mullins, Heston Kjerstad, Anthony Santander, and who is the 5th? Oh, you've already forgotten this guy. I knew it. That's why I was pulling this up. You forgot number 5.
Was it Ryan McKenna?
No. Oh, you forgot this guy.
Is he still in the roster?
No.
Is he still in the Orioles?
1 year only.
1 year. Oh, Aaron Hicks.
Aaron Hicks. There you go.
Yeah, Aaron Hicks.
Some big Hicks energy.
I've moved on. From Frazier and Hicks. I've totally moved on from them. And I'm glad the Orioles have moved on from these veterans too.
You didn't ask me about Frazier. I forgot about him.
Yeah. I'm glad we moved on. Doug, want to talk about playoffs? Brian Baker looks pretty good out of the pen.
Yes.
Just throw it out there.
He does currently.
Almost
which is
too
crazy.
Good. Almost too good. Because again, I like it when Kimbrel saves games, and I like when Baker plays well. But I don't want Elias to look at Kimbrel and Baker and think, okay, I can roll with this in the playoffs.
Right.
I don't want that.
Right. Yeah. I am enjoying what they're both doing at the moment. I don't trust either.
Yeah, I agree. Speaking of trust level, my trust in Suarez went up after a really good start against the Rangers. Was that the game you were at? Was that Saturday? Were you at? Which game were you at, Josh?
I went Friday night.
Okay. And did you sit in the splash zone or near the splash zone?
No. So I sat in section 84, which is right next to the splash zone. Splash zone's 86.
Did you get some secondhand splash action at all?
No, they are very focused on making sure the water stays in that section. Okay. So I did not. My thoughts here's my thoughts. I texted you and said,
because we're section 336 guys. We're upper deck behind the catch kind of guys.
Right. I have multiple thoughts on section 84. One, it's a different crowd. Sure, it's a Friday night. It's a big crowd. But it is a more rambunctious crowd out in 84 and 86. And this was the Joan Jett game. Joan Jett was the special splasher.
Yeah.
Splasher.
Guest splasher, sure.
Right, as they called her, Joan Jett Stream.
Oh, I see what
they did there. Words.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, I think they can do more of that. I like to see the guest splashers, right? We're pro guest splashers. Yeah.
Now, I will say,
has Tim Bauer gotten the invite to be guest splasher yet?
He might as well have been, because I'll tell you what,
He should.
on TV they always show the guest splasher, and I'm like, that's cool, that's great. I love that Adam Jones did it and Rubenstein did it. Joan Jett was there for an inning and a half.
Okay.
That's it. That's all she was down there for.
Did that surprise you, Josh?
Yeah. If you're going to be the guest splasher, you need to be down there the entire game.
Oh, really? With Adam Jones, when he does it, is he there? I know Rubenstein was just there for an inning. I don't know about Adam Jones.
I don't know. But anyway, here's my problem with Section 86. Is there's a lot of people in Section 86 making it about themselves. There's a guy that comes dressed as Orioles Jesus, and he has his whole bit routine where he puts Kool-Aid packets in like a big clear plastic glass, so then Mr. Splash can put spray the water hose in it, and then he holds it up like he turned water into wine. So he's got there's guys in 86 doing their own bit. I would look over there and feel like I was at a Bananas game. There's always stuff going on, and in between.
This reminds me of when we made our great video on YouTube that listeners can still look up, when we had a race of some super fans out there.
Yeah,
and we did our race on Utah Street.
Yes, same type of thing. Now the Orioles are doing cool things where Mr. Splash is giving stuff away in between innings and everything to the fans, and giving, like, this inning he's giving a ball away, next inning he's giving a bobblehead away, now he's giving a jersey away. So that's cool. And I saw multiple fans bring their food up to Mr. Splash to share. Like, you want one of my chicken fingers? You want one of my donuts?
And did he take them?
Yes. He took them. And he would lead
Splash. Yeah.
He would lead some ORIOLES chants. And so it was like this constant need to entertain there where there's a baseball game going on that should entertain you perfectly well.
Yeah, this goes back to one of our big fights over and over again is where I think sporting events are a place to have fun. This is why I'm pro wave, and you think these are serious places that we should seriously watch the game of baseball and focus on that. And not get distracted by the waves and other shenanigans.
Yes. So that's why I will never sit in Section 86.
Yeah, it's not for you.
It's not for me.
Yeah, there's
it's
people
for the common folk. It's for
you like that Jesus.
Yeah.
Yes, it's for Jesus.
Yeah.
I sat in 80. Sure. I sat in 84. What 84 had was alcohol, and I had a couple of things going on. I had two guys trying to start the wave, but the wave has a very clear direction. When the wave goes around the stadium, it goes the directions you run the base path.
Right.
It always goes
right to
your right, to your right, always to the right.
Sure.
He was trying to start it backwards to the left, and then he couldn't. Then he was getting frustrated that the wave would not take place when you're trying to make the wave go the wrong way.
Okay.
I also had two. They looked like they were like 18-year-olds, but they were drinking, so I'm gonna say they were 21-year-old.
That's nice of you.
Boys who got kicked out of the section a few innings in because they were idiots.
Okay. Yeah, this sounds very different than 336, by the way. It's a whole different atmosphere up there.
They were just trying to yell at Kowser and whoever was playing right field for the Rangers, and constantly turning and standing up and making faces at their buddies a few seats behind us. At one point, they went to the bathroom. These two people entertained me so much. I got
Josh fired up here about Section 84. Okay.
Yeah, these two people entertained me. You talk about entertainment off the field. These two kids acted exactly like Beavis and Butthead.
Okay.
And to the point that I was asking Kelly,
for our older listeners,
to the point that I was asking Kelly, are they doing it on purpose? And Kelly's theory, I asked her 100 times. 100 times I said, there's no way they're not doing this as a bit.
Yeah.
Because they were so much like Beavis and Butthead. Kelly doesn't think. Kelly thinks they're just young and idiots. Yeah. At one point, they went to the bathroom. And when they came back, for one, they weren't wearing Oriole jerseys. They were wearing football jerseys.
Okay.
Ravens jersey and a University of Miami jersey.
Okay, another red flag.
All right. At one point, they went to the bathroom.
You need to give them a Berlin Sports gift, business card or something.
They come back. Help me out with this one. They come back from the bathroom. They're just as fired up as before they left. The only difference is this time their jerseys are on backwards. So the football player's name is across the chest. So that confused me even more.
Yeah, that's another red flag, probably.
So then fans would yell at them. When they would get up and be idiots, you would hear fans yelling at them, calling them idiots, saying your jersey's on backwards and all this. I also learned a new curse word that I'm not going to share here because Silas has joined the show today.
Okay.
So I apologize, Silas. All right. Earmuff, Silas, because I learned a new word. No,
he just ran away. I didn't know there were new curse words to be learned. So
I
thought there was a limited number.
Look, what am I, 44 years old.
Yeah.
And I have never heard someone call another person the word dickwater.
Okay.
Is that a common one?
I heard wad before. Did they?
No, Walter. Walter. Okay. Multiple times I heard it and laughed as he called the guy that. So that was a new one to me with Walter. So it was an interesting, and as I said, those guys got kicked out for being a little too rowdy, and it turns out that those weren't even their seats. So it made it easy to kick them out. And it was the classic, as security comes from one side and the kids see them and the kids try to hop into another row to get away from them. And then security's coming the other way. And when security grabbed them, the entire Section 84 started clapping and cheering.
Yeah.
Because those kids were gone.
All right. Well,
he also at one point had his foot up on top of the fence like he was about to jump off.
Well, that's why you got to stick with Section 336, Josh.
Yeah,
I don't know what you're doing, even buying tickets down there.
the tickets were cheap.
Too.
No, the tickets were cheap. I found them for $25 all in. So
really?
That's why I did it.
Oh, that's not bad. That's not a bad deal.
So that was my experience in '84. I apologize for leaving Section 336. Never again.
Yeah.
I'll see you up in 336.
Yeah. Well, good. I'm glad this was a life lesson for you and you learned your lesson. Hey, speaking of fan experience, Josh, for the first time ever, I went to, I'm a minor league guy. I go to a lot of minor league baseball games. I went to the Norfolk Tides for the first time.
Hey, that's the only one I don't have checked off the list yet.
You've never been to Norfolk?
No, I've never been to Norfolk.
I'm going to get a comment about how it's pronounced Norfolk. No, I saw Kyle Stowers be within a single of hitting the cycle.
Did you see a Kramer rehab there also?
I did. I saw Dean Kramer pitch. I think he 4 or 5 innings, 4 runs. That sound right? Something like that.
Very, very impressive, right?
No.
Because the Orioles added him to the roster today.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, I believe he's heading to Seattle.
I mean, he got his pitches in. I'll say that. And it was better than the start before, where I don't think he made out of the first or second inning. So they must have saw enough there that they liked. And
it was
that's
only
true, Josh, then I guess that means Irvin or Suarez to the pen, or they stick with the 6-man rotation, right?
I think they haven't announced it, I think, until tomorrow.
Okay.
But I think I saw Kramer was making the move.
Okay. And Corbin Burns is back from paternity leave. That's poor timing on his part.
Poor timing.
Yeah. For having a baby in season. You saved the baby for the off season.
But they kept it in between plans. Or in between starts. Yeah. Good planning.
All right, fine.
So.
Hey, thoughts on a couple other things I want to get to here. Really, just one more. Well, two more thoughts. One, Irvin struggles. That's becoming to me a big concern. I hope he gets this straight.
I agree. I was wondering if with Kramer coming back, if maybe Irvin moves to the pen.
Yeah. It seems like Irvin has the ability to go deeper in the games than maybe a Suarez, but Suarez has just been more effective than Irvin. So I don't know. I think Irvin's, if Kramer is back, and if not, when he comes back,
it's not official. It's not official yet, but Wednesday and Thursday are TBD starters.
Right. Well, let's just keep on talking about Dean Kramer, and maybe like Tim Byer, he'll just hop on.
Yeah.
Is that a possibility?
Yeah. I'm not sure how this works, but we'll keep trying.
Yeah. Hey, Silas walked away for a second, but I mentioned we went to the Norfolk Tides game.
Yep.
Anything else to add about? I told him Kyle Stowers.
How's their stadium? Good kids area?
Yeah, there's a kids area. Yeah, it was a good stadium.
Yeah. It's a little older of a stadium. I think it's built in the mid-90s, but it's right on the water. Good parking. Very close parking in the stadium, which I'm a big fan of. And only $6. I'm a fan of that. Affordable stadium. Kids zone. They had a bounce house and like a pitch to test your speed.
All right.
I guess my speed. On the third one, I guessed my speed, how fast I was going to throw. I said 33 miles per hour, and I throwed 33 miles per hour.
You can throw the ball 33 miles per hour?
Yes.
That's pretty impressive, Silas.
That's
probably harder than your dad.
All right. Well, watch this, Silas. This always makes me laugh. Because Josh tends to exaggerate his abilities at an insane amount. Josh, if you were at this thing, how
fast?
Yeah, how fast do you think you could throw the ball?
Oh,
like honestly, have you ever done this? Have you ever tested your?
No, I've never done it. I would guess 70.
Me neither.
I would guess 70. I think I'm a 70.
Okay.
Because I pitch when I do little league practice. I aim for around 40 based on what I see, because that's about what the average 10 and 11-year-olds are throwing 40.
Yeah.
So, and that's a pretty soft toss for me. So I would say 70. Did you do it?
I didn't do it. No.
How do we do that? What do you just drive? Do I just drive out to like one of the little speed cameras?
Yeah, isn't that how they did it in The Rookie or whatever that Disney movie was?
Yeah, was it The Rookie or was it the curveball one? Trouble with the Curve.
No, it was The Rookie. They did it too. About the Tampa Bay pitcher.
Yeah.
The true story.
Yeah, I don't think that works. Does it?
I don't know if it does or not.
I don't know. I do think
I
next time.
I wouldn't think it would work. It doesn't seem logically that would work.
So what do you think you could hit?
That's my plan.
I think I could out
two things.
throw
First,
you.
I think I could throw it harder than you.
No way.
One.
No, I've got the extra length.
Point one.
I got that. I got that better whip coming around.
Okay. Point two.
We've proven over and over again that
I would say
what'd you do? How'd you do balloons?
I didn't do balloons. It must have been one of our listeners. I would say mid-60s. But if you say 70, then I would say like 71, 72.
No, I can definitely throw. I'm faster than you, and I can throw harder than you.
Both those things. That's misinformation. You've been watching.
Silas, what do you think? Silas, who would win? Your dad or me?
Throw harder. It's Uncle Josh or me?
See these guns?
Yeah,
but it was Silas. You don't want to go against your dad. I got you. You don't have to answer.
Yeah, hey, Josh, we got a West Coast trip coming up here. Poor Silas
West Coast baseball. Sorry, Silas, but I love it.
Yeah, we got Mariners, right, and then Athletics. So hopefully some winnable ball games here. The Mariners are playing good ball. Athletics are the Athletics. But some West Coast baseball coming this next week.
Is Thursday a doubleheader?
No.
Or is my calendar just screwed up because of the West Coast baseball?
Thursday's like a 4:10 game.
All right, because on my schedule, all right, and on my calendar, it shows a 10:10 and a 4:10 game.
Yeah, no, we just got the 4:10.
Oh, never mind. Never mind. I think it shows the night before, like overlap and ended on the 4th. Okay. All right. Well, Silas, you at least get to watch the 4th.
Yep.
Hopefully,
that's a 4 o'clock game.
Yeah, if we're not traveling. I don't know.
No,
we're heading out.
No, your dad's going to keep you from all the baseball this week.
He got the recaps. Watch the recaps.
All right.
I don't know if I can say
sometimes the recaps are better than the real thing.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. Josh, you ready to get out of here? Did we miss anything?
No, we're good. We've got Seattle and Oakland, as you said, this week.
Yeah.
And then we're back next week. Probably we're off next Monday, so we'll probably do the podcast again then. Is that the All-Star break? When's the All-Star break?
No, All-Star break is like June 17th or something.
Is it later this year?
Yeah, I think it's July. I think it's mid-July.
All right. Yeah, you're right. July 16th is the All-Star game.
Yeah.
So we got 2 weeks until the home run derby.
Yeah, but our schedule has, I think, chilled out now. We made it through June.
Yep. Seattle,
now we get,
Oakland.
like, off days. Like, yeah.
We have almost every Monday in July off.
Yeah. That's how it should
Seattle, Oakland, off day. Cubs, Yankees, All-Star break.
Poor Webb's not going to know what to do, not pitching every day. He's going to be so bored.
Texas, Miami, San Diego, doubleheader with Toronto. So, and then 2 more. So, not a bad schedule for July.
No, not bad at all. All right, let's get out of here.
Yeah, let's
Silas,
get out of here.
I appreciate you joining us, Silas. I didn't think you would make it to the whole hour, but you were here almost the whole time.
Yeah. Good to see you, Silas. Thank you, Tim, for joining us and surprising us a little bit there. That was fun.
Shout out to Tim. You can follow him on X, by the way.
Yeah. He has messaged me his phone number so that I now have his phone number.
Okay.
So
there we go. It's been a while since we had a guest on here, too. So good for us for bringing a guest on.
Yeah. All right.
Even if it was forced upon us.
Right. Yeah. Even if we said we don't want to talk to this guy because we thought we might embarrass ourselves, and then he watches anyway.
And then he came on and we embarrassed ourselves.
Good to know people are paying attention.
Yeah.
I also got a message because last week I said that I thought I was being replaced at the kids camp, church camp, and I got a message from someone who was listening who was a leader in that camp.
So, Josh, people listen. You have to be careful
about the microphones.
People listen.
I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, hey guys, you can make sure you check out Birdland Sports. Follow them.
Yeah. New shirts coming soon.
Yeah, some new shirts coming out. You can follow me on X, of course, at Section 336. Rate and review the show. You can follow Josh on X.
Did you say Little Josh?
No, I said. Well, first of all, I confused it. I said you can rate and review the show right in talking about X. Like you can't rate and review the show on X, but you can go to Apple Podcast and rate
Yes.
and review the show. That helps the show.
That does help a lot.
You can follow me on Twitter. You can also follow Josh on Twitter.
At Josh Soroka.
At Little Josh Soroka.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, boys and girls. And as always, go Orioles.